So good morning, students. So in yesterday's class, what we have discussed about the definition of energy and the different forms of energies and the sources of energies in order to produce those forms. What are the two types of sources of energy? What are the two types?
Conventional
Yeah,
and non-conventional.
conventional and non-conventional. Example for conventional,
Natural gas.
non-conventional,
Fossil fuels.
conventional example, fossil fuels. Next example for non-conventional,
Solar energy.
they are
Water,
the
hydroelectric.
natural
Tidal, wind energy.
tidal, wind energy. They are the natural sources of energies which are available. So we have also discussed about the significance of electrical energy. So the significance of electrical energy is it is greater in flexibility. It has greater flexibility when compared to other forms of energies, and it is the convenient form, and it can be easily transported with the reduction of losses. As the losses reduces, what happens? Loss reduce ಆದರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ?
Efficiency increases.
Efficiency increases, and it is easy to control, and it can be transmitted, it can be converted from one form to another form, like electrical to mechanical heat energy, like that. And it is cheaper in cost as it is um, it is charged based on the hours of consumption, that is in kilowatt hour. The SI unit of energy is what?
Joules.
And the other SI unit?
Kilowatt hour.
Kilowatt hour. Yeah. So we can also get a high transmission efficiency with the use of electrical energy. And after that, we have discussed about the single line block diagram representation of a typical power system. What are the three systems in power system? What are the three types of power system?
Generating system.
Transmission and
Transmission and distribution
Transmission and
system.
distribution system. So the generated voltage is transmitted into the consumer premises by passing through what?
Transmission system and distribution system.
This transmission and distribution is again divided into how many types?
Four types.
four types.
What are those?
Four.
Primary transmission,
Primary transmission, secondary transmission, primary and secondary distribution.
Yeah. So the generated voltage will be first what it will do in primary transmission. Generated voltage. What
Step up
happens in
voltage.
primary transmission? Step up by using?
Increases the voltage.
Transformer.
By the use of which transformer?
Step
Step
up
up.
transfer.
Step up transformer.
Step up transformer.
Why the generated voltage is stepped up to higher voltage?
Increase efficiency.
To increase efficiency.
And to reduce the transmission losses.
Copper
Then
loss.
in receiving station, that is in secondary transmission, what happens?
Step down.
Step down. The step down voltage will be sent into where?
Stations.
Substations. That is into the primary distribution section. In substation, the further reduced voltage, that is of 11 kV, which is equal to the generated voltage, will be given to which consumers?
Industrial.
Industrial consumers. So for our domestic application, that is for our house, how much power is required? How much
230
voltage
volt
level?
to 450 volt.
400 volts.
230 volt, 415 volt or 230 volt based on the requirement. Here, after secondary distribution, it will be given to the consumers through the service means and the distributors. The primary transmission is also called what?
High voltage
High voltage
transmission.
transmission.
Secondary distribution is also called
Low voltage
voltage
distribution.
Okay. From receiving station, the reduced voltage will be sent into substation by use of conductor. What it is called?
Feeds.
Feeders.
Feeders.
Next topic is earthing. Do you have any idea why earthing is done? ಏನಕ್ಕೆ earthing ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ?
To avoid short circuits.
To avoid short circuit. When the short circuit occurs,
excess voltage.
excess voltage. So if you consider a wire, ಏನೇನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ವೈರಲ್ಲಿ? What are the terminals of the wire?
Copper.
Terminals.
Positive, negative.
Positive, negative and neutral terminals irutte. So when the positive and negative terminal, that is the live wire, comes in contact with neutral wire, yavaga live wire neutral wire jote contact agutte, at that time the short circuit fault occur, because when the live wire comes in contact with neutral wire, the short circuit fault occurs. At that time the resistance enagutte, the resistance reduces. As the resistance reduces, what happens? I is equal
Excess flow
to
of voltage.
excess flow of I is equal to V by R.
R.
As R reduces, what happens to current?
Increase.
Increases.
Increases. So as the resistance reduces, the current increases. So here you can see it is an electrical system without earthing. So here a man, he is coming in contact with the electrical equipment. ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು electrical equipment na touch ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. At that time, if suppose the live wire comes in contact with neutral wire, then some type of fault occurs. It may be the short circuit fault or over voltage fault, like that. So at that time, if the earthing is not provided, then that extra current, that is the fault current, will take the path of human body and it will reach the earth. Human body na path consider ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅದು earth na reach ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Then what happens to a human? ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ human ಗೆ? shock ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ. So you will experience shock. So that is the main purpose. If the earthing is not provided and in the short circuit or any type of fault condition, then the fault current will take that will consider this man as a conductor, and it will follow the path like this and it will reach the earth. That is the fault current takes the path of the man and it will reach the earth. At that time the man will experience shock. This is the main purpose the earthing must be provided. Next is the electrical system with earthing. You can see here this electrical equipment is earthen, that is it is connected to ground. So ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದು earth ಆದಾಗ that particular electrical equipment to ground ಗೆ connect ಆಗಿದೆ. So at the time when the live wire comes in contact with the neutral wire, then the short circuit fault occurs, which will increases the current. That fault current will take the path like this. Instead of taking a path of human body, it will take a path of the earthen wire. This is the earthen wire and it will reach the earth through this path without causing any harm to the human. So this is the main purpose why the earthing is done. So the earthing is done in order to give protection. ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ earthing na? In order to give protection to the person who is operating it. So the earthing is the process of connecting all electrical apparatus to the general mass of the earth by a wire of negligible resistance. So here they are earthing the electrical equipment with a wire of negligible resistance. Why here the negligible resistance is used? ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು? What may be the reason?
Current ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಫ್ಲೋ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥಿಗೆ.
ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ರೀಸನ್ ಅರ್ಥಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೈ ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತಾ ಲೋ ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತಾ? Does soil
Low
conduct any type of does soil conduct electricity?
No.
No. Then its resistance will be lower or higher?
High.
High. So this soil ಏನಿದೆ, this soil has a pretty higher resistance, and this soil is of silica, which is not conductive in nature. Soil conductive in nature iralla. So for that purpose only, here earthing is done with a wire of negligible resistance. The main purpose of earthing is to carry the fault current. If the soil resistance is higher, then there is no use of doing earthing. Then the fault current will not flow into the earth. For that purpose only, here the earthing is done with a wire of negligible resistance. You have to mention this point. When the definition of earthing is asked, you have to write it is a process of connecting all electrical apparatus to the general mass of earth by a wire of negligible resistance. That is by a wire of low resistance. Low resistance wire in the earthing anna ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Next is the necessity of earthing. What is the necessity of earthing? Say in your own words. What is the necessity?
To avoid short circuits.
To avoid short circuit. When the short circuit occurs,
When the live and neutral wire
Wire touches.
comes in contact, then short circuit occur. When short circuit occur, what happens?
fault current will passes to human
body. Fault current increases due to the reduction of what? Current increase with the resistance. So this is one necessity. Then to give a constant voltage at any part of an electrical system. Alva? So as we know, I is equal to V by R. During short circuit fault, R reduces. When R reduces, current increases with the increase in voltage. So also the voltage fluctuation also occurs during the time of fault. Is it okay to have voltage variations in electrical equipment?
No.
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 The voltage must be supplied constant. Voltage must be constant for the efficient use or for the efficient operation of the electrical equipment. So by providing earthing, the fault current flows into the earth. In the same way, it will give the constant voltage at any part of an electrical system, and it will provide an easy path to the flow of short circuit current even after the insulation failure. It will protect the building, machinery and appliances under the fault conditions. So these are the definition and the necessity of earthing. So the question may arise like, define earthing and explain the necessity of earthing. Then at that time you have to define and you have to mention the earthing is done by a wire of negligible resistance, because soil has what resistance?
High resistance.
high
High
resistance.
resistance. In order to make the fault current to flow into earth, the resistance must be low, because what does resistance do? It will, resistance is what?
Opposes the flow of current.
Yeah. So if the soil resistance is higher, then it may opposes the flow of fault current. So in order to overcome that, here the earthing is done by a wire of negligible resistance.